Find the equation of the line given the following. In example A, they say the line is parallel to the line 3x minus y is equal to -1 and has the point 1, 2 on it. So what you want to remember here is pretty simple. We want to use the point slope formula whenever they're asking us to find the equation of the line. So if they say find the equation of the line, I want you to think use the point slope formula. Now, with that in mind, then we're going to go ahead and try to find a point and a slope. Now they give us a point clearly. The point is 1, -2. But how do I get the slope? Well, it turns out that parallel lines have the same slope. So if I can just find out what the slope of this line is, then I can use that slope in our point slope formula to find the equation of the line we're interested in. So it's easy to find the slope of a line like this. All we do is solve it for y. In other words, we put it in y equals mx+b form. And with that format, we'll be able to see what the slope is. So remember, we're trying to get the line into y equals mx+b form. And the way we're going to do that is simply solve this equation for y. So we'll have 3x minus y is equal to -1. So remember, we can just move this value over to the other side of the equation, and when we do that, we have to change its sign. So we'll have -y on the left is equal to -3x minus 1. And then from there, I need to make this y positive. The way I'll do that is I'll just divide everything by -1, right? So that'll give me y is equal to -1 into -3x, so it's going to give you positive 3x, and -1 into -1 gives you +1. So my slope then of the line is simply 3. And the reason why I can tell that is because 3 is in the same position as what? M, right? And that means that it's our slope. Alright, so if I know my slope, then I can use my slope and my point in the point slope formula. So remember, the point slope formula is y minus y sub 1 is equal to m times x minus x sub 1. So the y coordinate of the point is 2, so it'll be y minus 2 is equal to 3 times x minus 1. And that'll be y minus 2 is equal to 3x minus 3. And then finally, if we want, I can move the y over here and move the 3 over here. So the 3, when it comes over, will become positive, so it'll be 3 minus 2 is equal to 3x minus y. And that, of course, will just give you 1 is equal to 3x minus y. And that's your equation. If you write it in a more traditional ordering, you can say 3x minus y is equal to 1. And that's the answer for example A. Let's look at example B then. For example B, we're looking for a line that's perpendicular to the given line. Well, perpendicular lines have slopes that are negative reciprocals of one another. In other words, we need to find the slope of this line, 2y equals x plus 4, and then we need to flip it over and make it negative. So let's first find the slope. So 2y is equal to x plus 4. To solve it for y, we just divide everything by 2 in the equation, right? So we'll end up having y is equal to 1/2 x plus 2, right? Because 2 goes into 4 2 times, and 2 goes into 1, basically 1/2 times, right? So y is equal to 1/2 x plus 2. Now, that means the slope for this original line here was 1/2. But for our line, we need to take that slope, turn it upside down, and make it negative. So we're going to make it -2 over 1, or just -2. So this is our slope. The other slope is the slope of the original line, but since we want a line that's perpendicular to that line, we have to reciprocate the slope and make it negative. Or reciprocate the slope and change the sign of the slope that the other line had. Okay, so now that we know our slope is -2, let's go ahead and use our formula. Y minus y sub 1 is equal to m times x minus x sub 1. Then we can plug in the y coordinate of 3, plug in the slope of -2, and plug in the x coordinate of 1, and then just finish it up by simplifying, right? So -2 times x is -2x, and -2 times a -1 will give you +2. Then from there, we can just move the x over to one side and move the 3 over to the other. So we're going to end up having +2x plus y is equal to 2 plus 3. So 2x plus y is equal to 5. And that is our answer.